Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. I will be one of your hosts today. I'm Fletch, and uh, we're doing something just a little bit different this time. Um, though, yes, it does have to do with my horrible little detective Camille. Yes, uh,
I mean, do you even have other characters?
I do actually. I have many a
I
character.
know I'm teasing you.
uh, but Yeah, joining me with that lovely, lovely interruption is my wonderful friend who is very, very talented and an extremely good artist and has very cool ideas, which I am happy to be a part of. And
Oh,
I gesture
well, fuck.
towards you.
Thank you. I am also here with my Uno reverse. I will keep the compliments, but you also have to take them. Fletch is amazing, and also make sure that we don't rule break.
Listen, I am a game designer. My brain,
it is needed. It is
yeah.
needed. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm playing Lorem, my wonderful idiot. Um,
Himbo.
I have a brain, I swear. Yes, is himbo. Realized I never shared that image of his new outfit in AI, so that's gonna be fun. Um,
Oh, is it the one which I responded with a word that I cannot say on recording?
oh, I almost said it, so good to know.
Yeah,
Yes, that
that's the
one.
word. I don't want to say it on recording though.
uh,
Yes, I am a
um,
coward. Thank you. If you unmute to say it, I will make sure that you cannot actually.
um, anyway, Fletch, do you want to start us out with a little bit of DM reigns
Yeah,
about what my
sure.
boy might see?
Yeah, 'cause your boy sure do be I mean, it's gotten better now, but your boy sure do still be seeing things in his dreams, huh?
Yeah, he sure do.
Bearer
Lots
of
of
the
other
curse, if you
people's.
will.
Yeah, bearer of the fucking curse, nightmares. I think about the nightmares he's received already, and I'm like, oh well, technically knows this. Does he believe it? Who knows?
Who knows? Uh, I love seeing people realize things. Um, but yeah, uh, so, Lorem, you're having another dream, buddy. And we did decide it was a first person one.
Yeah, first person. Also, this does take place after the ties that bind, as well as in the loop. Just if you need context.
Yes, because
Awesome.
context is always good if you understand.
If you actually know the timeline, it's probably good to say something.
Yeah, don't worry about it. For Camille, this
Uh-huh.
happens post festival game. Let's just say it's fine. Um, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
so, um, yeah, Alarm, you're seeing things in first person, so of course you have no idea who the fuck you are right now. Uh, there's actually not really a lot of context clues right now, because it's actually for a nightmare, or at least what you assume is probably going to become a nightmare knowing you. It's actually quite peaceful. And um yeah, there doesn't really seem to be anything amiss as you uh cuz you're in a it's not like a bougie fancy neighborhood, but like it is definitely a nicer neighborhood. It's a nice day as you are approaching a house that you've never seen before. And As you get closer, you can see that the door is just slightly ajar as you go and reach out towards it. And then everything stops. And the and there's probably, I guess, we didn't really decide how this was going to feel, but I'm going to guess probably a sort of weird tugging sensation as everything sort of changes, and suddenly you are standing in the dream void with a uh, familiar looking 6, now 7-year old who has his arms crossed and is glaring at you.
Beautiful. I think this is the first time Laura's seeing Camille since the hospital.
I think so, yeah, because originally this was supposed to happen like post hospital, but like so many things were happening there, we didn't know where to squish it in.
Yeah, which is totally fine. Honestly, it's kind of funny that it's now, in my opinion. But yeah, Lore is not used to this happening and looks at Camille and is like, Camille?
Uh, and Camille looks very unamused as he's just, Laura, what are you doing in my dream?
Well, first off, not used to people being able to do that, but unintentionally, I am in your dream. Um, huh. He's kind of taking a second to process because control over your own dream, that would be nice.
I hold up a funny little lucid dreamer, who is the reason, which is the reason why we came up with this, because it would be very funny, we think.
Yes, yes, we do. I think so. Yeah, Laura's just taking a second to think if Camille wants to do anything.
Yeah, Camille is looking very unamused right now, because, bro, this is his dream. That's kind of like super personal. What the fuck? Um, as he's just, well, um, I would prefer if you didn't, maybe?
I I really wish I could. That was I don't really have control over this.
He lets out a very long and tired sigh.
Laura looks very apologetic because especially when he's in person, he can't really he can only see. He can't always control what he's doing. So he's kind of just there for a ride.
Yeah, well, you're certainly in for a ride now because there is a very annoyed child here. As he's just, oh, if you can't control it starting, can you? I would ask if you could leave, but I imagine I already know the answer to that one.
Laura sighs and kind of slumps and just says, if I could, I would. I really, really would.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
But you can roll insight on Laura if you want.
Oh boy, time to stretch that funny little insight mod.
Me as I search for
What's a
that one
CC of a
photo.
23?
The fucking fourth wall. Sorry. Um, well, first off, Laura looks honestly really, really relieved that he's not seeing what he was seeing before. He looks like he really didn't want to do that. Um, and I'm gonna let you, Camille. is smart and knows that Laura's situation is weird. Probably figures that, considering how nonchalantly, well, not nonchalantly, but casual he was about just being like, oh, yeah, no, I can't control this, meaning he probably has experience with this before, so this probably happens on a regular basis. He also looks a little different. He's definitely taller. Guessing that this is a reflection of not necessarily how he views himself, but how he looks in reality. Um, and you've seen the picture, so you know what to go off of as I continue to search for it.
I mean,
But I hand you that.
it is in the motherfucker zone.
I love how it's the motherfuckers, but it's also just our initials.
Here, let me grab it.
I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I grab it. I grab it and run. Ha! You probably would have been faster, but here we go. Eh, eh. Oh, wait, Scopo. Damn it. Don't
Uh,
look, Marzi.
that's probably fine enough. Okay.
I already deleted. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, no, I hand you that.
Yeah, so, there is a word that comes to mind, but I'm not gonna say it. And yeah,
Mhm.
Camille probably, unless the height change is like extremely dramatic, he's not gonna make too much. He's not really gonna notice it too much because he is still uh 2'8", even in Dream World.
That is totally fair. It's by 4 inches, so he went from 6'6" to 6'10".
Could have been by half an inch and it would have been 6'6". But yeah. Uh yeah, that's probably not going to be something he could notice much, seeing as he still has to crank his head way up to look at Lure. Uh, as and he kind of just lets out another tired sigh as he's
Yeah,
just
for the
uh,
recording, like Lord looks a little bit more toony. Like he's still obviously a real kind, but his features have become a little bit more exaggerated, etc.
mhm. Yeah, just a little, just a teensy. Also, uh, I look at that little beauty mark.
Yes, yes, because this is also after did Minami have their redesign?
Um, yeah, Minimi's already had her redesign as of the
Perfect.
uh
Yeah. Then Camille would notice, oh hey, heart nose, heart mark. Huh.
yeah. There's a distant part of him that's like, oh, that's cute. But for the most part, he's still annoyed. Cause yeah, this is certainly this is very private, buddy. As he just lets out another tired sigh. It kind of looks like he's waiting for you to do something.
Lord looks around and just kind of sheepishly decides to sit down cross-legged and rubs the back of his head and looks again very apologetic, I feel, and sighs his own sigh and is like, well, I'm really glad that you can do this. He gestures. Um, I really didn't want to. I didn't know it was you, but I did not want to see that. Uh, I've gotten pretty tired of seeing that stuff.
Yeah, and Camille kind of just blinks like, you've been lucid dreaming? Uh,
Oh, is that what this is called?
he nods like, yeah, I've been able to do it for a while. I think Leo can too. And he sort of tilts his head as he's just, it's a pretty handy skill to have. And as if to demonstrate, the it's not quite like a scene transition. It's because it's a funny little dream world. You were sitting on the ground a moment ago, but now you're sitting in a chair, and because of dream rules, it's you can't really remember how the dream void looked like, as you're now sitting in what appears to be a library of some sort, and Camille's also taken a seat in a nice, cozy little chair.
Lord just kind of looks around, is like, huh, I don't know if that would work for me, but I guess I should read up on that.
I mean, it might be handy to try. At
I
least.
would, yeah, I would really like to try, but he kind of fidgets and kind of drops that because how does he even explain that? And should he? He's told a lot of people more than he meant to.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're both kind of stuck here. Because,
Exactly.
yeah, Camille kind of just sighs as he's just, so is this something that happens often?
Well, yeah, every night.
He raises an eyebrow.
I I have chronic nightmares, but only recently figured out that it's probably other people's lore. And he looks a little unpleased by saying lore.
You, you, okay, Discord, please pick up. Okay, Camille, he definitely makes note of that as he's just, you alright?
I mean, yeah, I'm doing okay now. Um, got some answers to some stuff. Um, met met some new friends. Saw the professor again. Um, met the person who, well, they gesture at their eyes, and you notice that his eyes are brown. They're not purple.
Yeah, and I believe Camille already put two and two together in regards to that.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, no, I look at their passive.
yeah. So Camille's just, oh, you met Sammy?
Oh yeah, I guess you know him. That makes sense.
And he nods, like, yeah, you could say that. We're friends.
Laura kind of smiles softly at that. Um, kind of leans back in the chair and sighs. Well, then you should probably know. At the moment, we got a funky thing going on where we can't be about a square mile apart from each other at the moment without getting yeeted back to one another.
Uh, that's, hmm. Yeah, as someone would say that's fucking wild. As he's just, you, I think maybe should probably do something about that.
Oh, trust me, we're working on it. I'm. He kind of chuckles. Currently in the ellipsis, actually.
And he nods because, yeah, makes sense. As he's just, well, if you need any help, I am a detective.
Well, I don't know how much. It's, I mean, Sammy trusts you, so it's probably okay to talk about. Um, Sammy had a Gios, and we kind of got tangled up apparently when we met each other. The Ink Association kind of got us all tangled up. Um, but when I'm around, the Gios doesn't work on him. So we're hoping that if we can figure that out, then we'll get untangled a little bit. But I don't know if it's going to solve. I can feel his emotions.
Okay, we're gonna put the rest of that aside for a moment. Sammy has a what?
Sammy got Giosed.
Do you know who and for why?
Not really. Apparently, we were going to meet earlier, but then we had to postpone it and meet in the ellipsis because of it, so that we wouldn't be scried on. Um, Apparently bad stuff with his side of plot things. We haven't had much time to talk about it. We've been trying to catch up in general.
I think I might have an idea.
I think, well, Lord rubs the back of his neck, and you know that he knows it's related to at least the toon trade.
Yeah. I hold up Camille. Little guy is a little pissed.
Understandably so. Like,
Like,
Lord's
you don't
not
even have to
too happy
insight. He's.
either.
Yeah, you don't have to insight. Camille's pissed.
Yeah, Laura just sighs and says, "Yeah, same. Not too happy about it, but I I can't really fix the Gios other than well, we're stuck together, so at least the scrying isn't working either. Which is why Sammy was able to go out the other day without worrying about that. I kind of just hung out outside. It's fine." Laura just kind of chuckles.
You, if you were there, I could have gotten you a ticket, you know?
Oh, I mean, I kind of was writing letters to my family.
Sighs, but nods.
I'm
It's
trying
just,
to do better about keeping them updated about some stuff.
that is fair. And you can do insight on him if you so desire.
I would love to. His insight isn't just a 10 straight D20 anymore. I wiggle. I don't remember how that happened, but I trust the thing to do the calculations for me. This is why I don't do DMV. And
Oh,
I
you're
can't do
so
math.
valid.
You know this, Fletch. You know how bad I am at math. I am not exaggerating.
Yeah, I love you so, so much, but the dyscalculia is real. Uh,
This calculus is so real.
Alright, yeah, yeah, you can see that, yeah, as you say that, there is a bit of, I guess, understanding and familiarity from Camille. Almost as if he's sort of in the same boat as you in regards to that.
Lore has been trying to get better about this. He clocks that and just says, "Do you want to talk about it or do you not want to talk about it?" I'm trying to get better at not prying.
That is appreciated. Well, I guess to make a long story short, um, I ended up found familied.
Oh, congratulations.
Uh, there's a bit of a nod as he's just, yeah, I sort of had some realizations on some uh, on some stuff I was doing which wasn't exactly healthy.
Lore chuckles and kind of nods at that. Same
Though,
boat.
on that note, Camille glares at you.
Lore kind of cartoonishly kind of.
He's just, yeah. On that note, did you really have to phrase things so, uh, like that to the professor?
Ah, right. Um, he rubs the back of his neck. I'm sorry. I was worried about you. I'm getting the hang of Einquell a little bit better now. Um, I'm sorry about that, Camille.
He sighs, like, I get that you're concerned. I would be concerned in the same situation, but you didn't have to phrase it like I was going to die. I kind of specifically said I wasn't.
Well, I think I just said that you were going to disappear and I didn't know where you were going to go.
Yeah, there's
Did he
sort of
interpret that as dying?
a little, yeah. That is
Oh,
generally
whoops.
what
I'm sorry.
happens when you say someone's gonna disappear and don't elaborate.
I tried not to say too much. Uh, I shouldn't defend myself. I'm sorry. I was
I
worried, but I should have gone about it differently.
no, I
I
can't.
didn't know many people at the time.
I can't blame you for talking to someone about it. And I mean, the professor isn't exactly a bad choice.
Well,
You do
I've been in
have
his
her.
head, so I figured I could trust him.
He sighs because, yeah, you did mention that. As he's just like, yeah, you just really, really need to work on your phrasing.
Yeah, I think I'm having some cultural difficulties.
You would not be the first nor the last person to come to Einquell and have cultural difficulties.
That's strangely comforting.
There's a bit of a nod. It's fairly common since toons tend to function quite a bit differently from real kind.
Yeah. Oh, you finally met Minami, right?
You want to roll insight?
Yes, I would love to. They do write letters. um, yeah, no, has no idea. He's just too excited that you met his found family sister, which I don't know if Minami mentioned they were found family or not.
That is fair. Yeah, you absolutely do not notice a particular subset of Camille's feelings on that. Because I look at a certain. Yeah, no, he totally just met Minami. As he's just.
Totally just met Minami.
Uh, yeah, she ended up, found familying, Leo and me as well.
Oh, Leo too? That's that's really good.
And he nods, like, yeah, so I guess she's my sister now.
Uh, same.
There's a sigh.
Lord looks apologetic again.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Boy, his family tree sure has been growing.
Uh-huh. I was looking at oh boy, man. Sorry, I was looking at Laura's playlist to try to figure out what had happened since the last time they met, and it's basically like everything.
Yeah. And heck, it's just, it certainly seems like a lot's happened on your end.
Long stare.
Do you want to talk about it?
Don't know if I not that I don't trust you. he thinks. Working on not oversharing.
I'm a detective. Getting people to overshare is kind of my job.
Yeah, this one is huh. Okay, well, he thinks as I think. So Camille can take a second. I feel there was something I wanted to do that I kind of forgot. I'm trying to remember.
You're so very valid. I simply
Oh,
shake a child at Lore, like, ooh, you want to let him help you so bad.
he does. He loves Camille. He will really quickly though just say, how's Leo doing?
Oh,
Really
Leo?
quick. Yeah.
He's doing fine. Actually, better than ever, really.
Really? Lore looks ecstatic to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't really recommend, bringing up that case around him,
Oh,
but,
no, no. Oh, so you know about, well, that's good.
and I've heard of it. I'm not really working on it for, uh, fairly obvious reasons.
Yeah,
Uh,
he doesn't, yeah.
but yeah, no, I've other than when that's being talked about, that uh he's doing fine, better than ever. He's even stopped sort of spilling everything to every single person he's met.
He never did that around me, so I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, it happened a lot. I mean, if you know about that case, you probably ended up spilling something.
Not really. I don't know if he likes me that much, honestly. I don't know if he hates me, but I don't know if he's fond of me.
I look over at the Marzi in the gallery. Would Camille know Leo's feelings on Lore? Thank you for the dab emote. I think that sums things up perfectly.
Yep. Yeah, no, Lore literally pretty sure that uh Leo doesn't really like him that much.
Yeah. Well, he's a little bit happy, but he doesn't hate you. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think he'd hate me, but yeah, I don't think he likes me.
oh, I mean, have you tried apologizing to him? Maybe getting him like a gift basket or something?
I did apologize to him when we first talked, but we had a lot happen and he was dealing with a lot as well. I did send a well, there's this do you know someone named Tom?
Yeah. Uh, you want to roll insight?
I sure can. And Laura's like, I think he mentioned that you two know each other. 9. I'm so sorry, my boy.
Yeah. Your boy. Uh,
He got a +3 in insight and still rolls like shit. Congratulations, Laura.
yeah. There's. Yeah. All you can tell is that Camille sure does know this guy. Is he's just. Yeah. You could say that.
Yeah, well, I sent an apology gift basket to him with Minami's help because she knows him. But I I was having trouble with a problem at the moment, and mm, I hope that we can fix things. He's a nice guy. I feel bad.
He is. He's been going through a lot recently, but he is he's doing good now.
Oh, that's good. I was worried about him too.
No, it looks like you worry for a lot of other people. Uh,
Well, they don't really give me reasons to not worry about them, so
yeah. Well, what about you though?
I don't worry. I'm concerned about me, but there's only so much I can do about that situation. I mean, I'm working on getting help and all that, and that I'm still learning, so
Well,
it's not
I
like
mean,
I'm not trying.
that's good. I mean, I can help.
You really want to know, don't you? Laura kind of teases you.
There's a bit of a start. Like, I am a detective, and it's not really like we have anything else to be doing for uh, the next however long I'm asleep.
That is fair. I am kind of stuck here until you wake up or until I wake up, and I usually, well, considering that I'm probably actually going to rest well because I'm not reliving someone's worst nightmares, it might be a while.
That's fine. People my age usually are supposed to sleep a little over 10 hours.
Oh, huh. You get the sense that Lore is realizing a thing, but you're not quite sure what it is. Because you're still not a mind reader, you're just good at insight.
Yeah,
Um,
this might be his world, but like his dream, but Lore is still himself, so
Lore is still
only
Lore.
is only so much you boy can do.
Mhm. Um, Lore just kind of thinks for a second, is like, well, I guess Minami already told Azumi basically everything, so I'm not sure if you knew that they met, but they met. He kind of smiles.
Oh,
Pretty
don't
sure
worry.
Azumi doesn't like me either, but
Don't worry, I heard about that.
oh, you heard about. Wait, what did you hear about specifically? Lore kind of squints, like to
uh,
double check.
I heard that Shiro and Minami met, and uh, well, they didn't really talk about much regarding to what Minami talked to him about. Uh, but you don't need to worry about that.
Well, that's actually.
Translation. uh, Izumi, Izumi kind of wrung Camille out a little bit over yet another person he did not tell about his identity.
uh, oh, oh gosh. Yeah, Lore just kind of sighs and is like, well, kind of the. Mm, I'm kind of embarrassed to talk about this, honestly, and I'm still kind of working on it. But I mean, talking to the professor and whatnot was nice.
Well, generally, talking
So
about things is a good way to deal with them.
yeah, this is just something I got to be careful about. Who knows? So I'm not from here. Obviously, I'm from Ordinal Point. You know that already. I remembered the name of my country. It's Meridian. I figured out why I was so weird acting slash wanting to know everything about people. Uh, Turns out I'm the mortal. He air quotes actually. He's like, pretty sure I'm still mortal. I don't know. Really wanting to test that out. Um, Mortal incarnation of the god of lore, and I didn't know.
And
Found that out recently.
there's kind of just a little blink from Camille before he's just, uh, and?
Well, that uh,
I'm so sorry.
Lord just sighs because, like, hey, even if it's a god, just it's still a powerful individual. Lord just sighs and he's like, "Well, I don't know if you know this, but I grew up worshiping that god, so it's a little awkward to find out you are that god,
I mean,
as
okay.
well as all the shit I inherited, apparently."
Or I need to tell you something.
Okay.
He kind of just clasps his hands together, like with the index finger pointing out, before he points at you, like, I am an atheist, so that information really is not at all going to change how I view you.
Lord sighs with relief. Oh, that's nice. I
Yeah.
get a little worried about that, but the main reason is you don't necessarily want to go around saying that you're an incarnation of a deity, even if you don't necessarily believe that they're deities, just because some people are really interested in that.
Oh, no, it is absolutely something that you should not be telling people. And personally, I'm glad that you're learning to keep things a secret a
Keep
bit
my mouth
more.
shut. He smiles.
There's a bit of a story. Like, well, I was gonna put it nicer, but yes, um, it is a very good skill to have.
Don't worry, you have a reputation as a little shit. It's okay to be blunt.
Well, that reputation is. Well, I guess it's earned a little, but.
Mm, he just kind of smiles.
And he says, like, but still, I mean, do you feel like you are that god?
Well, that's the tricky part. There was issues with the domain that was changing my behavior. It got sorted out. Found out that this god did this intentionally. Convoluted plan, but whatever. Um, my parents didn't know. Um, Still have to tell them that part of things.
You know, I am. So, your parents didn't know, they just named you that?
Well,
They,
yeah, because it was a tradition. I mean, kind of, yeah. It's a bit of a family theme. My aunt's name was Lauren. My dad's name is Soren.
I am so very sorry for you. That's like toonish levels of bad.
Yeah, he just kind of winces. Wait till you hear the rest of my family's name some other time. We're all have a theme.
Yeah, and there's a bit of a nod as he's just. You get the feeling that he's used to family names being like that, but also it is a little the weirdest part about this is that you are all real kind.
Uh-huh.
For he's
Laura's just Laura's just like, my family has an interesting sense of humor.
there's a bit of a snort, like, you could say that again. But I guess back to the serious talk about your identity issues.
Yeah, it's not great. Still, I'm over the initial crisis because that's a lot to learn, especially when other, I guess from your point of view, quote unquote, gods tell you that. And then tell you that there's like the opposing force of what you used to be, who'd probably be looking for you. So that's not fun.
Yeah, that is not yeah, you see, this is why I'm atheist. If you that just sounds like a very convoluted series of fuck ups.
Well, the way that they explained it was a domain is like a box, and the god can work within that box. And what more convoluted can you get than an overcomplicated piece of lore?
He just sighs as he's like, well, okay, we'll just put that all to the side for now.
Yeah. Lure just kind of winces. But well, yeah. I don't know what else. I
Well,
think that's
I
just
mean,
about it. But
you sort of just
mm,
said it's complicated. Like, alright, do you feel like you have to be that god? Like,
yeah.
well, do you
I,
want to be?
well, I don't know how I can escape it because if I we are the same person at some point, considering the domain was leaking, it changed the plan. We could end up mentally the same person.
Well, you know, there's a, a belief, you could say, that one a person isn't always just the person that you see. Uh, as I, be Fletch, try to find a way to word this all pretty because Avi manages to word it all pretty, but my brain is currently, uh, I'm shaking it. As he's just, well, have you ever heard of the Yiddish philosophy that, there, within one person, there exists many different selves?
Me rolling history because Lure, every time he goes into a library, reads as much as he can. Okay, what is your history again? Okay. And I'm going to use one of his other abilities to see if I can bump that up. That's a 19.
Alright, yeah. With that, you've probably read it in a book on Yeto. Since I don't think it's necessarily, like, that hidden considering how big, like, mass and such are in Yiddish society. Uh, as. So, yeah, you would have definitely heard of that before.
Lure just nods like, yeah, I think I read that in a book somewhere. I was reading about Yeto, especially after I found out Sammy's brother is Yiddish.
Yeah, errata. Um,
Yeah, he's an amazing cook. Lure just smiles.
yeah, he's, broken into our house to cook curry a few times before. But that's
Why does that make so much sense?
he's just like that. But yeah, so you that god might be part of you, but that god is just another mask. You might still be the same person deep down, but you aren't entirely that person. Uh, and you don't have to make that your whole identity if you don't want it to be.
I don't
It's
know if it'll be my entire identity, but I mean, I've been thinking, sorry, he just kind of gets quiet.
it's part of you, but you don't have to make it more a part of you than you want it to be. And that doesn't change the fact that you are still you. And
I, yeah,
you don't have to be a god if you don't want to be.
kind of winces. I don't, I can't figure out a way out of it, Camille.
Well, I mean, even if you can't see a way out of it right now, that doesn't mean that there isn't one.
Yeah, I'm looking for one. The the problem is it was a God manifested biodomain, so innately connected to it. There's other gods apparently watching the domain until he, whatever, returns, which kind of feels inevitable because apparently if I die or something, I will just become that person again. Well, they'll still remember whatever life experiences I have here. Uh, Meaning I might feel differently about things. I don't know.
There's a bit of a nod. Like, well, I think no matter what, we'll try. And no matter what, you're still your own person. And you can make, even if that'll change in the future, you can make your identity right now be who you want to be.
I'm I'm
It's,
working on that. Yeah.
I mean, where I'm from, it's kind of understood that that Forsnong is a place that believes in cycles and reincarnation. So,
Oh, I think I met somebody else from there.
yeah, that would be Leo.
No, no, the he just kind of gets quiet. Yeah, no, I met somebody else from there. They kind of, yeah.
Uh, who'd you meet?
Well, I don't know if I should bring them up because I don't know if Leo likes them.
Let me roll intelligence to see if he puts two and
Uh-huh.
two together. Okay. Yeah. He knows the drama. He knows the tea. Uh, as he's just, oh, yeah, I know about them. Yeah, things between him and Leo are a little bit complicated right now, but I'm sure that they'll
Yeah,
be able to work things out.
I hope so because honestly, I really like Quinn.
He, that's good.
Yeah, we got to hang out. I learned what a motorcycle is, and I want one.
Well, I think that maybe you should do lessons before you actually get a
Oh,
motorcycle.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm
It's
That's
not
something I
that
am aware of.
I don't trust
Mhm.
you,
Oh, you
but
have definite reason to not trust me. You know I get motion sick,
yeah,
or at least I think you do.
I you're real kind. I can kind of assume that. But yeah, no, please do make sure that you're following proper motorcycle safety and all that. This
Yeah.
is really funny coming
Mhm.
from Camille because I know how Sam drove.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Laura's just like, yeah, no, I'm hoping to run into Quinn again and maybe he can teach me. Um,
Well,
yeah, but it was nice talking to him. We hung out. I asked him about his favorite color. Played some dragon chess. He's really good at that.
there's not like yeah, that seems to track. But my point is that well, in our belief, it's generally understood that we were once a different person, and once we die, we'll become an entirely different person. And maybe sometimes you'll have completely different thoughts and feelings uh, compared to who you were before, but that doesn't make the time here and now any less significant. just because you'll be someone else in the future doesn't mean that who you are now doesn't count.
Kind of thinks that is a better way of putting it, I guess. I guess I'm just worried about it happening sooner. But I
Well,
mean, I guess that's kind of things just change in general. I think it's just because a lot was told to me all at once. Kind of overwhelming.
no, I understand that it can be very overwhelming. It's a lot. Hey, but. And he thinks for a moment as he tries to find the words, as he's just. I think worrying about what will maybe come tomorrow isn't going to help you too much right now. You can, well, we can work on making sure that that doesn't happen prematurely or at all if that's what you want. But
Mm,
I don't think you should let that sour the person you are right now.
yeah. I uh I still gotta work through it, but it's good to hear. I guess my main concern is if I can maybe find a safe way to not be tied to the domain, but it, I realized that if I damage that domain, it will hurt my home.
There's a nod as he's just, well, it's a very big and complicated thing to figure out, but you won't be doing it alone. And I mean, here in Inkwell, pretty much anything can be possible.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Like when I met Mina, well, found out that's beside the point, but like when I found Mina me, like we got shrunken down and stuff like
There's
that.
there's a bit of a nod as he's just, yeah, I a lot of odd things like to happen in Inkwell. So, who knows? It might not be as impossible as it seems.
Yeah, especially when I know a certain individual who's probably very interested in fucking with me. So yeah, Lori looks deadpan and unenthused.
Is this something that I want to ask about, or should I just leave it?
Oh, well, I don't know. Considering that you know me, maybe you'll run into them. But I've been told that if you talk too much about them and you know them, that they might pop up. So maybe not.
Yeah, we'll just leave that for now. You can slip me a description later, and I'll be sure to hit that person with a soccer ball.
Oh, please do. Apparently their armor class is shit, so please.
Oh, wonderful. I'll make sure to make it a double.
Triple. Deserves it.
There's a very serious nod from Camille.
Laura nods back, very serious.
He doesn't even know this person, and he's already ready to make them eat shit just for you,
Good.
Lore.
Make them eat shit.
Yeah,
Do it. They deserve it.
he's a lot different from how he was before. Before he,
Huh.
yeah, before he pauses and thinks like, so, um, and he tilts his head. That being said, is there a nickname you'd prefer to go by?
Oh, well, Sammy calls me Rem, but I mean, Laura's still fine, I guess. He kind of shrugs. Lorem is okay. I I don't really know anymore.
Well, if Sammy's calling you Rem, I can do that too. Sammy
If
kind
you'd
of
like.
has a good sense for those sorts of things.
Yeah, he does. He's really sweet. Lore smiles.
Camille about to do an insight on that.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we deserve a little bit of gay homosexual gay.
Absolutely.
So that's a 20.
Let's see. Yeah, no, you get the ceiling, the ceiling. Psh, fuck. You get the feeling that Lore is very affectionate towards Sammy, and do you get the feeling knowing Sammy? You know Sammy, and I think during the carnival game it came up a little bit. I wasn't there for all of it, but yeah, you're like, oh, gay, homosexual, gay.
There's. He pauses and takes that in before there's a little bit of a shit eating grin. As he's just, I see.
I have to roll to see if my boy gets what's going on. 16. Lore like, oh, right. Um, he looks away and you see him blush a little bit.
There's a bit of a raised eyebrow from Camille.
Well, he looks up, he looks to the side, he says something in a language that you're unsure of.
Which
And then,
language, if I may ask?
let's just say infernal.
Okay, yeah, that is for sure language that he does not have.
Laurie's favorite curse words are in infernal.
Yeah, because I look at Camille's ever growing lists of languages he knows.
Same with Lore. I gave him the linguist feat.
Understandable. Yeah, so yeah, he doesn't get that. Um,
And she's just like, fuck. Yeah, no, yep, that's a, I need to, yep. Mm. He looks off to the side. It's very obvious he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
so, uh, oh wow, is this how Leo felt? Is
Laura catches that and raises an eyebrow.
uh, Leo, um, told me an interesting thing about some people he used to know, but it you got it pretty bad, huh?
I don't know if I do or not is the thing. I think so. I don't know. I've never
I
had a crush before.
well, this is my uh he's going to make a stupid joke here. This is me being an armchair psychologist here, but judging from your reaction, yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that you do.
Laura just nods and is like, probably. Especially considering that I can't feel his emotions at the moment. These are mine.
Yeah, and then he blinks as he's just, all right, and Sammy returns them.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about it. The professor wanted to make sure if we were stuck together that we cleared the air. Apparently, he caught on.
No, that is very understandable.
Lord just nods. Yeah, especially when, honestly, for a few nights we shared a dreamscape every once in a while, but that hasn't happened in a hot second. Lord kind of thinks,
Dreams are sort of a finicky thing.
Yeah, no, I'm getting real tired of them. I wish I didn't have to.
There is a bit of a snort. He's just, well, mm, I guess if you're constantly having nightmares, they're not exactly the best. But,
Yeah,
no,
like I had one the other day that involved like this world that didn't have any color.
Katie, you can't do this to me.
I can do this. I have permission.
You can't do this to me.
I can do this to you.
God. I put my head in my hands. Uh, just, eh, I'll, I mean, and he leans back in his chair. He's just, maybe looking into lucid dreaming might help you. That, or maybe, mm, I'm sure that there's a magic item out there that sort of shields your mind. That might also be worth looking into.
Yeah, maybe that will work. I really hope it does.
Um, well, nightmares aren't fun, but sometimes I think even sometimes it's just nice to have a good dream, I guess.
Hmm.
I mean, if neither of us dreamed, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
That's true. It still kind of would be nice, but sleep is still good. Also, this is out of character. Does Camille catch on the fact that Laura knew the world was out without color, but this man is colorblind?
Mm, I think Camille would, because I think it is like an actual real world thing for like people to dream with, because he knew that Laura had colored vision once, so I don't think he would find it weird if Laura dreamt in color.
Mm-hmm. He tries to tease you more, and you're just like, nope.
The All right, I can have a mask for you. And he sort of tilts his head like, so I guess you do dream in color then.
Sometimes, but I don't remember what they were like when I wake up. But yeah. Oh, I guess there's hmm. I'm still getting used to the fact that my dreams are real, but that means that there's a world out there without color?
Well,
Someone said the sky was crying.
I think that that might be a bit much to get into now.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I
It was
mean,
an interesting dream, though.
it sounds like it, but it's. I guess maybe it might seem a bit jaded, but as a detective, it's very important to be able to learn to only worry about what you can change.
Yeah, I need to get better at that. Sometimes well, especially when someone's younger than I am, I have a habit of going a little bit into sibling mode. I,
A
I'm
little
not
bit.
used to a lot of it.
There's a bit of a grin from Camille.
Or just smiles, just like, yep.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, that's one of the adjustments I'm working on. I mean, until I met Minami, I had never met anybody my age before, and then I don't know if you know about that. So, wait. Okay. He kind of shakes his head. Don't worry. But
He
yeah,
raises his
I
eyebrow.
was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to share.
I'm guessing it's something about me to me.
Yeah,
He nods. It's just, yeah, I understand. You're definitely getting better at keeping secrets, at least.
I am not used to having to keep them.
Well, there's a bit of a sigh as he's just, it would be nice to live in a world where we didn't need them, but it's good to be able to, I guess, uh, make sure that people don't have information that they can use to hurt you.
Yeah. Um, and I don't want to screw over my friends or my family.
There's a nod. Is
Sorry again.
uh, I don't mind. I can always just talk to Minami herself if she wants to share it.
Yeah.
Internally, Camille, uh, because of the mention of age and because of the mention that this is a Minami thing, yeah, he's clocked what 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 that little secret is.
Yeah,
But
Lori trying very hard to be like, wait, am I supposed to? I don't know if I'm supposed to. Okay, be quiet.
yeah, he's just gonna play it stupid for now because the reason why he knows is because of certain Sam things.
Uh-huh.
And he's already kind of slipped up a good bit during this conversation already, and I'm shaking him.
Mm. Good thing that Lori's an idiot and doesn't know.
Yeah, like between that and the fact that this is a dream, that is probably why he's got his guard so lowered.
Uh-huh. That and Lori's just like, oh yeah, no, he probably just figured this out. I mean, smart kid,
Yeah.
detective. Maybe people told him. Whatever.
Yeah, don't worry about when he mentions things that he can't possibly have first-hand knowledge of. Don't worry about it.
Laura just assumes that somehow he has firsthand knowledge about somehow. Who
Yeah,
knows?
it's fine. Uh,
Lord, this makes complete and absolute sense.
yeah, so he's just, yeah, don't worry. If I can always talk to Minami about it herself.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, hey, question. Do halftoons get redesigns?
And he tilts his head like, why do you ask?
Um, I think I got one. Well, I don't think I got one.
You're half-toon?
I don't think I'm halftoon. Sammy's ink apparently is making me toonier.
Well, that would explain things. I do know that half-toons can get redesigns. I mean, I went through a few ones recently, though. For me, they've always been a bit, subtle. Oh, I'm
Oh,
also yeah, and he kind of gestures at his face a bit. And yeah, Laura, when you the previous two times you met this kid, he did not have eye shines. He had flat colored eyes. Now he does. Um, as he's just I'm generally not really the prime example of what's normal for a half-toon, though.
yeah. Laura's eyes are like literally sparkling because they're like, oh, cool. I'm not the only one, sort of.
Oh, Lord beloved. Yeah, so I simply hand you a kid who is in a lot of tiny different ways that add up, pretty different from how you last saw him.
So there's the eyes. Should I roll insight?
Yeah, if you wish.
I wish. Damn. I can try to here. I try. Hope for the best. That's a 14.
Yeah, it's not a very high DC. Like he does like he was very grumpy when he first saw you, but that was more to do with the fact that you kind of just invaded his dreams and almost saw some of his trauma. Uh never mind how never mind some of the weirder points of that. Don't worry about it. Uh
Yeah. Like, huh, if this was Camille, why was he so tall?
yeah, don't worry about that.
Laura
It's
is specifically not asking.
yeah, it's fine. His perspective is a bit funky in dreams, you know? Uh
Yeah.
the
He
end.
definitely has questions. He puts that away though, because it's like, not my business, not my business, not my business.
Oh beloved. Uh is yeah, Camille definitely now at least does seem like more at ease. Like a few times he's even like let himself be found familied when earlier he had trouble even like calling you a friend. And now he's openly doing so and letting himself be found familied, so that's certainly a big change.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Uh,
it is.
and he just genuinely seems to be like a lot less uptight and tense.
I'm really glad you've been doing better, Cam.
And he blinks and looks up at you.
Or just smiles very sunny.
What do you mean?
Well, you're actually a lot more friendly. You have found family now.
Yeah,
You look happier.
there's a bit of a blink before he sort of exhales a bit slowly as he's just, uh, yeah, I guess you're right. Um, I sort of had some, like I said, some realizations about my behavior, which was not the healthiest. Uh, and well, certain things have been dealt with, so I'm uh probably not gonna do the whole disappearing thing anymore.
Laura looks relieved. Well, that's good to know. I'd
It's
miss you.
it's still really complicated still, but
It's fair.
well, you'll figure it out at the end of it, I think.
I guess I will. He just smiles. Would you like a hug?
And he
You can.
blinks before he's just, yeah, uh, sure, I wouldn't mind it.
Laura walks over, kind of goes on his knees and gives you a big hug.
He has been hugged.
Very good hug.
Congratulations.
My true motives revealed.
All of this to hug the boy.
Must hug the boy. Little video game. Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Yeah, after a
Achievement
second, he just
unlocked. Boy hugged.
achievement unlocked. Affection. Yeah, after a second, Lord lets go and just smiles and is like, yeah, see, you even let me hug you.
Well, I've been getting a little better about that.
Yeah,
Uh,
like, I'm a little bit more understanding if somebody doesn't want to hug now, but it's still
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you were very forwards before.
Yeah, I'm, I was only really used to my siblings.
Yeah, I I can sort of see where you may have gotten on Shiro's nerves a bit.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I apologize to him too, but I don't know if he wants to hear from me.
Um, maybe right now isn't exactly the best time.
Yeah, I figured.
Um,
If he wanted to talk to me, I'm guessing he'd talk to me.
uh, well, I wouldn't say that either, but I don't think now is really the best time. Camille sitting here cursed with the knowledge of the Yellow trip.
Lore doing his best not to pry. I won't have to roll whiz saves for him anymore, though.
That's good. And Camille's just if it ever is a good time, I'll definitely let you know.
Thanks. You know how to write me. And well, if you ever need somebody to punch anybody for you, let me know.
There's a little bit of a there's a bit of a grin. He's just I will. You know, I think at this point I could probably assemble a whole army of people who would punch for me.
Oh, good. I mean, I can also do paperwork, but I don't know if you need any of that done.
And not in the way that you can help with.
Exactly. Yeah. You just kind of laugh.
Okay.
Um, but no, besides that, I'm mostly good at punching.
There is a nod. It's just, that's, I mean, a lot can be solved with punching.
Yeah. He just kind of laughs and stands up to go back to his seat and looks around and is like, "So I'm so sorry you're stuck here with me." He just kind of hangs his head down.
There's a little bit of a laugh as he's just, well, I mean, it's not really like either of us can help it. I mean, I could try and wake myself up, but I worry that you would be left here to rummage around by yourself.
Quite potentially, and I rather not. I can't choose what I see.
No,
Not normally, anyway.
that makes sense because this, I mean, and he actually tilts his head as he's. It does depend on whether this is a shared dream or if you're sort of, for lack of a better word, invading mine.
That, huh? Lure kind of thinks, I don't know, because even if the person isn't sleeping, I'll sometimes get stuff from them. At least that's what happened with somebody else I know. Um, kind of looks away and looks back.
Camille's
So
raising an eyebrow.
Lure like, mm, yeah, just like I don't know how I should sure.
No, that's fair. Um, like I said, don't worry if you can't help. And there is a bit of a sigh as he is very visibly putting that out of his mind and taking that off of his radar.
They're
As
just like out of character, Seeker and Coriolis stuff. Don't worry about it.
Understandable.
They're fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Uh, but yeah, so Camille, uh, very visibly puts that out of his mind. As he's just, so let's focus on what we can help with. And he sort of stands up as well and is just, if this is more of a shared dream situation instead of you invading my dream, it should be that you're able to lucid dream as well.
Huh. Well, what is lucid dreaming exactly? Is it specifically control over your dream or just being aware of it? Because I know when I'm dreaming, I just don't have control of it.
Well, I'm gonna assume with your background that you are aware of the definition of lucid. Generally speaking, for lucid dreaming at least, if you're aware of things, generally speaking, you do have control over them. Uh, since the dream sort of is, in a way, a reflection of your mind.
Huh. I don't. This might have, since you're awake, that might have changed, but no, I'm usually at the whims of whatever's going on. I've I can sometimes have some influence, but I don't normally.
He sort of tilts his head in the thought as he's just, well, it's a bit complicated. Uh, Dreams are also kind of weird in that sometimes the more you try for something, the harder it becomes.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I've had dreams like this since I was 6. I've had lots of time to try lots of different things.
There's a nod.
They used not to be just nightmares,
It,
but yeah, he shrugs.
and he thinks, because that shares a piece of information, as he's just, you used to have other kinds of dreams?
Yeah, when I got the ink in my eyes, they all became nightmares.
Well, I suppose that does make some sort of sense.
Fear and all that, but I don't know, maybe meeting Sammy, things will be different now. I mean, I don't get lost anymore when I'm around him, so that's kind of nice. Though apparently I wasn't really getting lost, it was more of apparently it wasn't a curse, it was the blessing of applied phlebotomum, but
I'm Is that how you out of character? Is that how you pronounce it? Because I've always pronounced it phlebotomium.
I'm pretty sure it's phlebotomum, like phlebotomum.
Because I don't think. Because I don't think there's a vowel between the B. There is. Hmm. God, I don't know anymore. We'll set that to the side. Uh, it's. I placed my hands on a member of the audience. It is a trope name, which is uh it's a trope name, which is, yeah, basically just something happens because it can happen to propel the plot forwards. Uh, yeah. So
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure
there's,
it's phlebotomum,
I,
but I shrug. It's okay.
words funky. Words are funky. But
Some
yeah.
people spell it differently too.
Yeah, I think the way I've always seen it spelled is phlebtomonium. Um like as if it were an element. Uh
Huh.
so I guess that's why I always pronounced it as such.
I nod.
But yeah, so it's basically when something works just because, and there's no deeper reasoning other than just because.
Yeah,
Uh,
so basically any trope you can think of is applied phlebotomum.
well, I wouldn't exactly say that. If there's an explanation for it, then it's not that. This is in my we. This is an FPS.
Yes. I was oversimplifying, don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's mentioned.
Yeah. So he just takes note of that, as he's
Yeah.
just
You could roll for religion if you wanted to, or probably intelligence. I mean, you live in Einquell, but you don't have to if you don't want to.
my man is an atheist. Okay.
Well, I also look at the fact that Flo themselves likes to describe themselves more as a force of nature in Einquell, so I shrug. They could be in other.
He is an atheist. He will
Mhm.
uh that the very idea of that is rubbing you boy the wrong way.
Yeah, no, you're good. Again, he doesn't have to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah. He's I hold up a funky little atheist. If you we'll get into his views on religion later, I think. This is just well, I mean that I guess having not getting as lost as much is a plus.
Yeah, I actually compasses work for me now. That's really nice.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, but dream things. How do you do that?
Right. Well, me, Fletch, have never been able to lucid dream, so I
Oh,
can't go too much in detail on it.
I know
Whenever,
some because I've researched it. Also, it looks like Marcy knows some
yeah,
information.
I researched it back when I was like a kid, but when I tried, my dreams got like increasingly weird and not in the fun way. I mean, uh, in the you will live out 20 years of another person's life in detail and then wake up and
Uh-huh.
just have to go to school the next day. So I
That's what
decided to stop.
I looked up lucid dreaming because those are what my dreams are like every night. I look at lore. I gave them my problems.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Don't
Like
worry about it.
I
I'm fine.
stopped after like the fifth crisis it gave me. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
so Camille, he's he's probably going to just I will just say that he sort of explains how it works to you. Um, and let me roll, I guess. All right, fine. I was gonna roll intelligence to see how well he explains this, but he decided to get a nat 20, so I guess he's an expert.
Wonderful. I mean, considering
Yeah.
in character, probably. Now let me roll intelligence for my boy to see if he understands.
Since it's a nat 20, you probably have advantage on it.
I sure hope so. That's a good point. Mm, let's see. With this, do you want to make this an intelligence save
Um,
or just straight intelligence?
whichever one is better.
They are the same, I'm realizing, so it does not matter. But actually, let me check a thing I have. Doo-doo-doo. Okay, no, that doesn't work for this. Okay, here's the first one. Lorem, please, please. I know I roll bad, but please.
Come
No,
on.
that's a 12. He looks at you and just kind of nods slowly, like, okay, so, what you're saying is you just try to be aware of the dream and then try to control it?
Okay,
He
that
looks like
is
he doesn't really get it.
real size. That is not at all what I was trying to say. Um, maybe maybe hands-on would be a better approach for you since we are in a dream right now.
I'm a bit more of a kinesthetic learner. They gesture at themselves.
Yeah, all right. So, I guess why don't we start with something small? Maybe try and make yourself like a book or a piece of paper.
Okay. Does it work better if it's this is Lord. Does it work better if it's something you're attached to? Or
Uh, yeah, if you can
oh,
visualize it strongly, that does tend to work better. And he sort of
okay.
gestures at the environment they're currently in. Like, this is a place that's familiar to me, so it's a lot easier for uh to make it. Otherwise, we're kind of just standing in a void somewhere.
Ah, yeah. Hmm. Lord kind of thinks, and I'm gonna roll a thing, just a straight d20 to see vibes. Okay, yeah, no, he thinks, and as he thinks, Camille, you start to see words crawl out from somewhere and just start to wrap around as he closes his eyes. And all of a sudden you see, I'm gonna say because you rolled a 20, he gets it kind of. You start to see a field that is on a hill, and around you you see a ring of mountains, and it's in color. The grass is so green it's almost blue. The sky seems almost too perfect. The trees, it it looks like a scene out of a storybook.
Nods. Uh, yeah, Camille, to make things easier, is sort of like taking a mental step back in terms of the reins he currently has on the dream to sort of let uh let this happen a little bit easier. And he's taking the environment in.
Moore kind of opens one eye and then the next and smiles really wide and
And
says, "Oh, if I could do this every night, that would be amazing."
Camille returns it with a smile of his own as he's just like, well, it seems like you are starting to get a pretty good grasp on it.
Yeah. He just smiles nostalgically as he looks around.
I'm gonna guess this is home.
Yeah, this is the top of Ordinal Point.
He nods and he's going to make a perception check.
Uh-huh.
Because I know that's what you want. I know you want to.
Oh, totally. I have no idea what you're talking about at all. No idea.
Oh, I'm sure that you don't want to spill any funky lore at all by taking us to this specific place.
Funky lore? I already got funky lore. His name is Lorem. I don't know what you 26. Fuck. Okay. Um,
He is a detective.
beautiful. I know, I love it. As you look around, you see there's a path that kind of leads to where you see a small but fairly well built and organized town. And all along every path, there seems to be ropes with different amounts of ribbons at different paths um, to indicate probably which path is which. And you notice specifically the color doesn't matter, or if it does, they're contrasting shades. And they lead all over, and even you can see paths kind of in the hills leading towards the mountains that have these as well. Um, this ring of mountains almost feels like a perfect circle. And while it's natural, feels intentional. And you realize you're on a mesa in the middle of it. Um, there seems to be a river in the bottom, almost like a natural moat. And it feels huge and small all at the same time. Um, there's also a little stone marker on the tallest part of this hill where you figure this town has gotten its namesake, Ordinal Point. And you see that that marker is also a sundial of sorts, but not a traditional one. It's like a stack of stones with other stones marking ordinal directions, um, and uh, smaller stones marking the cardinal ones that also have, you know, uh, those 4 points of a clock. Um, there's like a little sitting area off to the side. Looks like people can just come out here and chill. There are ropes all around it though, and you're realizing these ropes were probably something that the town put in place for Lore so that he didn't get lost.
Yeah, he's very much making mental note of all of this.
Hmm. There's also a pond at the bottom of the hill. I mentioned that in reference to something else.
So yeah, Camille nods like, "Huh, well, this is a very interesting place. It's
Yeah,
nice."
it is. And let the 26 also say it feels really calm and peaceful. Like it really does feel, despite being real, like picturesque.
Hmm. You know what? Uh, I could retcon something real interesting in here actually, because it did not
Uh-huh.
occur to me earlier. But since this is a shared dreamscape, Laura, you've probably been hearing background music this whole time.
Lord clocks that and
And
kind of
yeah,
looks at Camille.
it's only seemed to change when the scene changes. So like you are probably hearing the same background music on loop the whole time you're in the library, which is probably, and considering everything that was happening earlier, it makes sense that now is the only time you really notice it because there was a lot happening earlier. But yeah, the theme's changed again, and you get to say what it currently is.
Ooh, okay. Have you ever okay, what is that one song? Um, have you ever heard Appalachia?
Um,
Appalachian Spring by um oh shit,
I
Copeland.
I
Aaron
don't
Copeland.
think I have, but I can. Uh,
It has motifs like that.
mhm.
Um I can share it with you later. But oh shoot, I can't remember the specific instruments, but it kind of has oh shoot, what is what is it? We just listened to the song in one of my classes like 2 days ago, and I'm kicking myself because this is also one of my favorite composers. I should know this.
Oh, I pat you.
But as soon as I go to get the information, no, it's not there. And I'm like, can you just once do what I need you to, brain?
I pat you.
Appalachian Spring. Okay, there we go. You hear the background noise of oboes and clarinets and swells of music that you would associate with rural areas or wilderness. Um,
Yeah,
but wilderness, like more folky, but not necessarily bluegrass.
understandable. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's probably that mixed in with what Laura's theme is.
Yeah,
You
which
could.
is more French horns, but actually it's changed recently. So I think what did I say it was? It's softer. It has more of a English horn sound to it.
Mhm. Yeah, you definitely notice the change in music, but you also notice what stays the same. So I hand you that.
Yeah, Laura just kind of looks around and is like, "Is that your music?"
Oh,
Because
wait.
I don't really know this tune per se. Sounds kind of like songs that we have in Ordinal Point, but I don't know this one.
Camille sort of tilts his head like, "Oh, you can hear that?"
Yeah, is this a song you know?
Uh, well, I guess it makes sense since this is a dream, but so uh, I sort of can hear the rhythms or themes of people and places.
Laura perks up. Wow, that's really fascinating. But does it ever get annoying?
Not. I mean, I've never really experienced a life without it, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Um,
Huh.
in
I
fact,
guess that would
when
help with your insight.
it does a little, yeah. Uh, but the few times where I haven't heard it have been very off-putting. I mean, imagine having a like imagine suddenly having your sense of touch turned off. That's a little bit what it's like.
Hmm. Laura's like, well, when I lost my color vision, that was startling. Took a while to adjust. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
It's like sometimes it does get a little bit overwhelming if there is a lot of people and such in the same place. Normally, though, I'm used to it.
Huh. Have you ever heard your own music?
He tilts his head. Uh, no, I haven't. I mean, if I heard what it was described as once, but I'm sure it's changed a bit since then. Actually, would
Hmm.
Leo have described Camille's current theme to him? I look over at Marzi.
Hmm. Also, Appalachian Spring has vibes similar to like the Shire sounds in
Mm.
Lord of the Rings, but not quite.
And he's just, yeah, uh, I know what it sounded like at one point, but it's probably changed since then. Uh,
Well, I wonder if there was a way that you could hear your own, not that you necessarily would want to. Just brain thinking. You still there?
yeah, no,
Okay.
I had to clarify something real quick.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. My internet did a thing, so I wasn't sure.
I pat you. But yeah, so Camille kind of just shrugs like, oh, it does sort of make things that happen outside of the rhythm a bit jarring sometimes.
Huh. Can everybody in Fort Sanan hear that, or just you?
Uh, it's it's something from Forsana, but not everyone has it. That's sort of a whole it's
Question. Would that be in a book anywhere?
yeah, actually. You can roll.
Can I roll history?
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
please,
roll for it.
Lorem. Please, Lorem. I want you to know this. They've talked about it so many times. Wait, wait. You still have one of these, please. No, the 14. No.
uh you've heard a bit about it and how it ties into some Forsana traditions, but you don't really know the particulars of it. Uh and Camille's just it's sort of a whole uh cultural thing. It's a little bit hard to explain.
I think I read somewhere about it, but I don't think I focused too much on it. There was something else that caught my attention. I think the fact that there's no, I feel like Laura would have read there's no gods, quote unquote, in Forsana,
Lore would
because
know
that's
that there are
something.
no gods in Forsenal.
There are no gods in Forsana. No prayers mean nothing. I'm joking. Sorry. Or like, I think I read somewhere that there's no like really gods in Forsana per se, not like other countries.
Oh, uh, yeah. In Forsenal, we don't really believe in any deities. We have our own sort of more spiritualistic religion. Uh, but the idea that one single being can embody a whole force of nature is, well, not exactly a concept that jives well with people from Forsenal. I mean, it seems a little bit presumptuous.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, working through that myself. I mean, grew up religiously, and
I mean, you are tied to domain, but you're sort of just a guy.
I am just a guy, and a guy who um is the god of their country. So complicated emotions there.
Yeah, I can understand why. But in Forsenal,
Yeah.
we don't really have beings that embody those ideas. Uh, it
Hmm.
just
I
doesn't.
wonder how they'd feel about me. Oh, he teases a little bit like all powerful God suddenly reincarnated.
There's a snort. If you can be reincarnated, then you're not exactly all powerful.
Yeah, no, we don't really believe Lore's all powerful either. Just being silly.
And he starts like, I mean, I'm willing to bet most would have a reaction sort of like mine. Uh,
Probably. Yeah. Laura's more focused on stories, obviously. Lore, pretty on the nose.
there's not, and he's just yeah. So there's a lot of interesting things about the beliefs there. Uh, it would probably be a long while to get into it, though.
Probably. I mean, you can always send me a book sometime if you really want, but no need if you don't.
Well, I mean, it might help explain things, especially how some people reacted when certain topics were broached. Um, I know one thing is that it's uh, you since we believe in cycles and reincarnations, if you hold on too tightly to a certain incarnation of a person, then you risk holding them back from their next cycle in our belief.
Yeah, I remember hearing something like that.
And well, to keep to forcibly keep someone in that sort of in between state, unable to let them move on, is it's not seen as a very kind fate.
Laura in my head is just um they're visibly digesting that, and with your insight you get the fact that he probably grew up with a the opposite belief.
Yeah, so he sort of tilts his head. Like, there's a bunch of different variations in the belief. Like, religion isn't exactly a monolith,
Oh no,
especially,
definitely not.
well, Forcenal is kind of famous for there not really being any deities in our religion, but, for example, in some port towns, there are actually a few shrines, set up for Yiddish deities. It all depends on the certain subset of the country you're
Mhm.
in.
I don't really know a lot of deities from Yeto. I just know that they have a lot of them, I think.
Yeah,
Laura kind of ponders.
Yedo is sort of the opposite of Forsenal in terms of how many deities it has.
Yeah. Insane. Our country mainly just had the one, and the subsets of, well, there was I guess that gets kind of complicated because I found out more than stuff that we didn't really. There was continuity specific to, I guess, the plot, but that's what it was. It was more of like somebody who organized the lore. Um, and then there was, is applied phlebotomum, and realizing they're also apparently tied to a version of the plot. That's not all things I grew up with, but my memory was a little bit fucked with until recently.
There's a bit of a nod because there's uh you can roll insight if you want.
I would love to. I still have two more of those little things I can do, so hopefully I don't flub it.
How many of those do you get a day?
I get 5, and I've used 3
God, is it like a
because he's
sort
level
of
8.
uh
It's my superiority die. There's a thing I can do called tactical assessment where I can roll a d6, one of my superiority die, for a investigation history or an insight check, and add that to
ah
the ability check. Yeah.
and here I thought that you'd somehow stolen bardic inspiration.
Yes, don't you realize that I am a thief? Yeah, no, Lore's a battle master, so I got superiority. Yeah, fuck.
uh
Nothing saving that. The
yeah,
5.
no, he gives a bit of a nod, and you can tell that there's some distaste there for the fuckery of memories. Uh, but you don't really get much else.
Yeah, that's understandable. Laura's just like, yeah, the gods might not be all powerful, but they still mess with you.
Yeah, he's a bit hard to read when you are so tall and his hat covers most of his facial features.
When he has Ghibli and shadow eyes.
Yeah, he's just very small. Not optimal Camille viewing angle.
Mm. Yeah. Was there anything specific that you would like to do?
Um, Not really.
Mm.
Like, I think that they covered all the big points unless there's anything that you want, uh, unless there's any
Uh,
information you want Lord to have from Camille.
I can't really think of anything because Laura is really trying his best not to pry too much.
Yeah, like, there is obviously that one big secret, but
Yeah, no,
that's,
it's we put that under the rug. I have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah. He's just a funny little, he's just a funny little boy.
This funny little 7-year-old. He
Yeah.
who I have, Laura
Actually,
just
I
treats
don't think
him
Lord
not like
knows
a.
that. I
No,
don't
does
think
not know he's 7. Does not know he had a
doesn't know
birthday.
his birthday passed.
Oh, no, I wouldn't think to ask. Oh gosh.
Kind
I
of,
shake this himbo.
unless Immunity mentioned anything about celebrating with Camille and Leah.
I don't think so. Um, I'll have to talk to Comet later, but probably not just yet. Probably because Mimi probably has been a little distracted. But Lord does his best to send her letters every day so that she doesn't be like, "Where's my brother?"
Understandable. Minimi
Yeah.
handshake Leo, where's my brother?
Where's the fucker?
Yeah. I guess one last thing that Camille can
Hmm.
do is he probably like lapse into companionable silence for a bit before he's just, oh, if you do try and patch things up with Leo, I think a gift basket might be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe I can get Minami to help again. Do you know things that he likes?
Yeah, he actually really likes takoyaki and fruit.
Oh, I remember that. I met Juby, I think one of his brothers, right?
Yeah,
And
Juby's one of our brothers.
oh yeah, I guess he's your brother now too. I really enjoyed them. Oh yeah, there's this place that he said I should visit if I wanted a better association with purple. I have it in my journal. I'll have to look later.
And Camille nods as
Hmm.
he's just.
Um, Ako, yeah, I could be writing down. Don't worry about it. Like
uh,
Minami also loves takoyaki. She probably knows how to make it. Or maybe I can ask Arata.
yeah, I think that between the both of them, he can figure something out. Uh,
Does he like fidgets? I gave some to Tome.
yeah, I
Uh,
think he'd like fidgets. I mean, he's been practicing magic recently. I mean, like sleight of hand magic.
oh, cool. I think I have a friend that knows some of that. Maybe I can get him something.
He nods.
Um, if you want, you can try to remember. Like, do you remember the black and white Rubik's cube and shit that Tome made?
Yeah, he did see some of the gift basket because that is where he got the gift basket idea for me to be. Uh, so yeah, just Camille starts listing off stuff that Leo likes.
Or mentally taking notes, just like, cool. We're gonna give this kid as many things as as he can because he feels really bad.
Yeah, he might. I think that Leo can be bribed.
Oh well, I mean, sure hope so. Otherwise, I'm fucked.
There's a snort. Well,
Or just
I'm.
smiled.
It's good to give it a try since we're sharing a sister now.
True. True. Yeah, I'm excited to see her again. I hope I can see her soon. Kind of a well, I'm tied at the hip to a literal other individual at the moment, so where I go, he goes, and vice versa, until we can figure that out.
Yeah, Camille nods. Like, yeah. Um, just keep in contact.
Mm,
I'll do my
me
best to
too.
help where I can.
Well, if you can figure out how to not be a god, that would be great.
I will
And just kind
certainly
of
do my
laughs.
best. I'll. I guess I'll have to ask Sammy, but if I can help him
Mm.
too, uh, I would like to do that as well.
Yeah, you can always send me something and I can hand it off to him if you want.
Yeah, he nods. Like, mostly just. I mean, Sammy has already helped me so much. I would like to be able to
Oh,
return the favor.
I'm glad that he's helped you. He's I think he's been having a bit of a hard time, so yeah. I mean, he just found out he had a sister, that sort of thing. I don't know.
He has what now?
Apparently he has a sister.
Okay, yeah, that I I think I should probably talk to him about that if he would allow me.
Yeah, she's doesn't really come out much. Or she's in the library. I think she's avoiding me. I don't know if I did something or not. I don't know.
Um, she might be a bit antsy around real kind, if I had to
Oh,
hazard a guess.
well, I mean, she seems fine around Arata and the professor.
And he thinks for a moment, like, well, there's. Hopefully she'll uh, come around eventually, but for now, I don't think you should push it. Because,
Yeah, I haven't been.
yeah, he's. As you say that, something else clicks into place, and he's just, yeah, no, that would make a bit of distrust happen, wouldn't it?
Me being like, what are your theories? Because I know why, but
Um,
we'll talk later if you want.
his current theory is that it's to do with the ink in old Lorem's eyes.
That's part of it.
Yeah, but he's just,
Yeah.
yeah, uh, I can talk to Sammy about that, hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, well, maybe we could figure out a way to meet up with you in person. And I don't know. I think she plans on traveling a little bit. She just apparently, well, I haven't talked to her in person, but Sammy says that she hasn't really gotten a chance to go many places.
He nods at that.
Hmm. And if you want, you can describe, or I could describe dream fading out, or is there anything else that wanted to be covered?
Um, I think these two are you know what? Yeah, Dreamtime's a bit funky. So
Dreamtime is funky.
yeah, I don't really think they have much else, but uh, I hand Lorem a new. I hand you a child. Congrats. You're
Cool.
related now.
Puts child under arm like football.
He is football sized.
Yes. Continues on.
But yeah, so I think your boy sure has learned some interesting things. But we can
Mhm.
I can go kick down some DM doors later.
Oh, I would love to see that happen. Anyway,
But yeah, so
um,
thank you for playing with me.
thank you for
Uh,
playing with me. It's been a hot minute.
would you like to describe the dream fade out? Because I don't have many ideas there.
Yeah. I would say since it's Lorem's kind of side of things for a second, you kind of hear the music shift to you know that this feels kind of like a finale. Um, and the image starts to fade, but as it deteriorates, it looks more like words fading, and kind of centralizing on lore as the words kind of twist up him and disappear and fade, and he kind of watches that happen as eventually he just disappears from the dream.
And then Camille wakes up. And I'm going to assume Lorem wakes up as well.
Yes.
I would hope he does.
And he never wakes up again. I'm joking.
Yes, Camille wakes up to a dog jumping on his bed. As Camembert does sometimes. But
Wakes up with Sammy wrapped around him. That's all I'll say. Anyway.
yeah. Gay, gay, homosexual, gay.
Yes.
So, thank you for joining me, Katie, and thank you, dear listeners, both now and in the future. I hope that you all had fun. I know that I did.
I did too. There we go.
All right,
Bye.
bye!